One of the cases that I wrote on, Denmore Garments, Dennis Morgan, who's the founder of the company, he speaks very much about trying to balance both the profit motive with the social benefit. So it is a traditional private sector organization in many respects where there is a motive to make profit, but he has a human side of him where he really, in this case, wanted to reach out to the vulnerable groups and make sure that they were included. I think that some of the constraints are common, whether you're operating on a large scale or small scale. Financial issues will always be constraints, capital, human capital, things like training and development. I think that the approach taken by some of the smaller companies is different, particularly in this case because it looks at the more human side of things, really trying to reach out. Denmore invested very heavily in training, particularly in Denmore. We are dealing with women from impoverished rural communities. Another challenge that they had was just that apart from the women not being trained, something as simple as access to transportation to come to work. So you have an opportunity to work, but you're from a poor rural community that's 60 miles away. Denmore actually invested in buses, and they have the buses going out to the communities to pick up the women in the morning and bring them to work and then bus them back home in the afternoon. So that's something that goes beyond what the traditional private sector employer would do, but it's something that Denmore thought was key to give these women the opportunity to become employed. From the company perspective, very often training is an issue that a lot of companies don't really want to get involved in. They prefer to bring people in who are trained and who know how to do the job already. For Denmore, what it's done is sort of given the woman a sense of empowerment, a sense of being able to do things. They are very committed now to the organization because the organization has done so much for them, so that they have a very low turnover of employees, which is something that particularly, within the Caribbean countries, you see very high turnover, particularly when you're dealing with people, poor people who perhaps are looking for a quick opportunity and not really committed. You see a very high level of commitment.